Thank you for joining us for this segment of Live Healthy. I'm your host, Lauren Collar. Bumps and bruises happen with kids all the time, but when is it time to seek medical attention? Dr. Ron Lewis, a pediatric orthopedic surgeon, is joining us today to tell us a little bit more about that. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
What are some signs parents need to look for when it is time to bring the kids in?
Well, kids obviously are going to get lots of bumps and bruises just on the playground, summertime at the beach. I think an urgent type issue would be if your child had injured their arm or their leg, and one would be a pain issue. If it's just mild pain and you take a look at the arm and the leg and it looks normal, you can ice it and you can pretty much wait a day or two and see how the child's doing. If they're in severe, unrelenting pain that will not be relieved with some Tylenol or ibuprofen, then they should be seen. And more obviously, if a child has a little bit more in the bump or bruise and you look at the arm and you're like, oh my gosh, what's going on? Then that's a sign, obviously, to take them to the emergency room.
What are some of the treatment options available?
Treatment options for most of these types of injuries, it's varied depending on the severity of the injury. So kids can just get a little bit of a sprain, and treatment would be simply for an ACE wrap or some type of a brace or a splint, or just a little tender loving care by a parent. Anything that's more severe, if we have a fracture that's separated, moved out of place, that's something that could require being pushed on in the emergency room or potentially need some type of surgery to correct the defect.
Tell me some of the services you provide.
I provide the gamut of musculoskeletal injuries in kids, from newborns up to young adults. As far as injuries go, we take care of children that have basically injuries on the sports field, in the playground, or just injuries just around the house, running after brother or sister or that type of a thing.
All right, well, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here for this segment of Live Healthy.
Live Healthy is sponsored by Trident and Somerville Medical Centers and provided as a service to you and your family.